just saw Kyler Murray in purple and gold talking to Vikings reporters. We're living in strange times. What direction is his now former team going in 2026? We give you our definitive answers on that one, Johnny Venerable.
Is this our real life now? Plus, Monti Ossenfort, he's flush with cap space. Why no moves? Are the Cardinals really tanking for 2026? Plus, we'll give you the skinny on Josh Sweat. PHNX Cardinals starts now. Hey, welcome in. From Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. It's the PHNX Cardinals podcast, your premier #1 Arizona Cardinal podcast. Like and subscribe. Man, what a week. Leave us a 5-star wherever you get your programming. I'm Johnny Venerable. I was incorrect. We do not have a big acquisition and or trade. That's Brack and Studio K, Noah Man behind the Mac. I attempted to will that into existence for the 200 plus already watching live. I'm sorry I let you down. More scraps today, Brack.
How you view reacquiring Elijah Wilkinson and a Jonah Williams, not the Jonah Williams who was on this team, but another Jonah Williams who plays on the defensive side of the football.
Tell me less.
All right, but I'll tell you this. How about Terrence Tidbits is here? I see Joe, Dylan Richards, Mike D, Naheem, Steven Jackson, AZ Moses, Moby Duck, Jack, Jacob, DeClay. How about, Tank from Manning, Terry Cleary, Dustin, so many great people. Rafa, I see you, Bonnie Brockable, just the entire gang here, 77 Far North, dropping their supporter emojis and just lighting it up on a strange day here in the Valley of the Sun, a strange day being a part of the PHNX Cardinals community, but we appreciate you being here nonetheless.
Hit that like button. We're not going to spend more than 1 minute on this. Kyler Murray's a Minnesota Viking. We assumed it was going down. Congrats to K1. Sticking it to the Cardinals. They're footing the bill for the large majority of it. We're going to get to that in a second.
Here's your tab.
Yes. Eric Burkhart, his agent, was out saying how proud he was at K1. Kyler's already taken photos with the Vikings. So, again, that's your ex. You're going to have to see it, and we're going to have to stomach it. And so here we are. Here we are moving forward with Jacoby Brissett as the quarterback of this team, at least temporarily. The most fascinating aspect of this Kyler Murray saga for Cardinal fans right now is the team did not opt in what should be a tank year, according to everybody.
Right.
To eat all of his salary this year. Our viewer yesterday who coined it or put us in the know with this was correct. And now it's, confirmed. Kyler Murray is a post-June 1st cut, Brack.
Yeah, it was it Iron Will that had pointed that out? And if it wasn't, Iron Will, take the credit, even if it wasn't yours. And if it wasn't somebody that I'm naming, I apologize. But great call. Reuters was really the only one running with that, just a news wire company, and they had that in there. And then I looked at Spot Track late last night, and they were running with it as a post June 1st designation. Yeah. Then me sleepy-eyed waking up this morning, open up to the NFL transactions wire, which came about 6 a.m. locally. And saw, yes, indeed, it was with a post-June 1st designation, meaning the Arizona Cardinals are going to pick up the tab on $47+ million in dead cap. It might be down to about 46 now that he got that 1.3 mil from the Vikings, but we'll have to double-check that. And then if you wanted the nightmare to continue to roll on, after Kyler Murray plays a season with the Vikings, and, depending on how that goes, there's going to be it continuing on into the 2027 season where he'll accumulate $7.2 million in dead money because they just did the June 1st designation.
Reuters showing our guy Jerry Gergich how it's done. That'll wait, Reuters. Wish Reuters would have sourced some other stuff. Could have been true about this team this year, but give them their flowers today. So you get money from Kyler Murray, not going to next year. Cardinals like, we need that money. And we're like, what the hell for? And then they cut Evan Brown today. Bye, Evan. Right. Evan Brown, $5 million. Give me it. Give me.
Yeah, it clears up like $10 million more of cap.
Whatever. All right, here are the cut candidates that we broke down last week when everything was great. And we thought, oh my God, they got so much money. Dalvin Tomlinson gone. Bilal Nichols gone. Akeem Davis-Gaither gone. Now, Dalvin's number is skewed because he was, it's like Kyler Murray's going to be a post-June 1st cut, but not Dalvin Tomlinson. We need that money. Evan Brown, $5 million. See ya. James Conner's been restructured. Sean Murphy bunting, might as well have red on him. He's making the vet minimum. He's making no money. James Conner's making $3 million. Zaven Collins, keep your head on a swivel, my guy. You're the last man standing here on the cut candidates. But we're just emphasizing a point. I feel like this team, even with these robust signings from today, and we're going to get to them, they still have like $40+ million.
If you're doing the math, I don't care, what your calculator is spitting out. It's probably still a healthy chunk. And where is it being invested? And people are talking about, well, what about the extensions that they're going to want to do with Paris Johnson Jr., Michael Wilson? No, that's not going to count towards this year's cap.
Nope.
They're going to have plenty of cap dollars to spend.
It's crazy. People don't understand that, by the way.
2027. Yeah, I know. I just, if you're going unreplied to in my tweets, it's because it's just, I feel like it's pretty common knowledge that they're under contract regardless with their rookie deals this season. And that's not going to count towards the 2026 season. Yeah. So that's where the Cardinals are. And it's a head scratcher because it continues to try to toe the line of we're building this roster to be competitive in 2026, where as far as what they're doing at the quarterback position tells you differently that they're going to try to be competitive, truly competitive in 2027.
I mean, I don't want to believe that they're waiting till next year, but Over the Cap has them at just under $200 million for next year. Wow. Just a number one robust cap hit of $200,000. $200 million.
That's like FU cap money.
But here's the problem with that. You can't spend it all in one offseason. We've seen that before.
Right.
That, come on. Are they going to re-sign Michael Wilson? Yes. And he's going to get good money, maybe great money. So kudos to Mike. They're going to extend. Yeah, I'm sure Michael Bidwill wishes he could put it toward the facilities. They're going to extend Paris, okay, and Mike. And those guys deserve it. But, maybe Dante Stills get his contract extension because you can't. This defensive line right now, you can't afford to lose him. That will make the tiniest dent. Yes.
That will be a drop in the bucket as far as that type of cap money. We'll see what happens with Garrett Williams. We are hopeful for Garrett Williams, but coming off, Steven Jackson and Achilles, it's a long road back. And we're hopeful we can see a guy like Garrett Williams and he can put out enough tape to and obviously with his previous performance, couple that together to get a nice little extension, but it's not going to be as a slam dunk as his draft classmates in Paris Johnson Jr. and Michael Wilson just due to his injuries.
Can I read you the top 5 paid Cardinals this year according to their cap number? So this isn't their base salary. This is their cap number with roster bonuses and workout bonuses.
That's all that should matter.
Yeah.
When you're somebody that consumes the NFL, all that should matter is what's the cap number?
Okay. The number one cap hit for the Cardinals this year is Budda Baker, $19 million. People are like, trade Budda. His contract's not movable. They can't cut him. He's on the team. Last year of his deal, presumably.
Yeah.
All right. Josh Sweat, we're going to talk about around the break. $16 million. A steal for what you got last year. right? That's a good contract. Then Marvin Harrison Jr., $9.6 million. If you're scoring at home, that's his rookie deal, friends.
Yeah.
That's built in. The Cardinals' third overall pick this year is going to have a top 7 or 8 salary on this roster right now. Whoopsies. That's nuts. I mean, they've got.
Well, I mean, Isaac Seumalo is going to make over 10, I would assume.
Yeah, that hasn't been updated yet. But I mean, maybe we assume
for
so.
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Baron Browning's making 9.4, which is just the ultimate eyesore. And then Jacoby Brissett's making a little over $9 million. So, those are the robust salaries this year. Now, the dead money, the walking dead money, is Kyler Murray, Dalvin Tomlinson, I think Jonah Williams. Or no, he had his option was voided. So
he had void money. Yeah, he had void money.
It was really just Dalvin and Kyler who had big cap hits that they released. So, I mean, like, I feel like we did this. I remember looking at like the 2023 roster and like how picked over it was. Not for talent. The Cardinals have way more talent than they did in 2023, but just like big contracts. And that was one of the biggest reasons why, on top of like, I thought Monty had to fight for his job. Maybe not. The Cardinals don't really have any bad contracts. The Kyler contract notwithstanding, and I honestly didn't think that was a bad deal. Like, they got out of Dalvin's contract. That's done. Buda's contract, he's a franchise icon. They can afford to pay him $19 million. I don't have an issue with it. Sweat's contract's good. You cut Evan Brown. You got the majority of his money. You got the majority of Sean Murphy-Bunting's money back after re-signing. I mean, what's the worst contract on this team? Baron Browning? Probably Baron Browning.
He had 2 sacks last year.
Yeah, and this is it for him. He's not under contract last year. They don't have a bad contract. So, I mean, like, you've got all this money and you don't have a bad contract, and they say they want to be competitive. I don't know, man. I like a pass rusher, a notable offensive lineman. You couldn't have gone out and acquired one of those players,
right?
I got to think that another move is still coming based on the fact that they are actively trying to free up cap space.
Yeah, you know what? I saw some interesting speculation because your mind certainly is on free agency, right? And you're thinking, okay, well, let's go through the top free agents remaining. Like, and you think about the needs, and you think about premium positions, and you talk about tackles and edge rushers, and those are always guys that are going to cost a lot. I couldn't believe how much Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave both got.
Yeah,
and then they get 2 years. $20+ million from the 2 teams that picked him up, which was crazy.
Yeah.
But like, even when you see that, it's like, I don't think there's anybody that's really going to chip away at that significantly. And then somebody in my replies said, are they positioning themselves to add another first round pick salary, which I thought was interesting. Like, the 3rd overall pick's going to make just under $10 million, 3rd overall. And then it just kind of declines throughout the round. But that's not I can buy into that. Like, are they keeping a chunk for obviously roster maneuverability, including the draft and including, when break glass in case of emergency because they obviously don't share, like, Monti Ossenfort does not operate like a lot of the GMs in this league where they're just going to be like, we'll worry about it later. Spend all the money.
I like that idea. Please, God, get us a quarterback in the draft. That's where I'm at now. We're going to talk about that in tomorrow's show. Because I put out a feeler tweet of the top 3 to 4 quarterbacks in this draft. And
how did it go?
Outside of Mendoza, really well.
Oh, good.
Because everybody has been just desensitized to this class. And now we're like, yeah, give me Drew Aller. Give me Nussmeier. Give me Ty Simpson. There are people pushing for Carson Beck. It's just like, yep, let's do it. So that's going to become a big part of our show, especially if the Cardinals work them out and have them visit during their top 30 visits. So we're going to talk about that. Where I'll push back on you, you know how much Darius Robinson makes this year?
Yeah, like 6.5 maybe?
No, $3 million.
Wow. So that's like the late first round.
And that's
pick.
where they would be operating. So I like that idea in theory.
Yeah.
But what's like
the 16th overall pick make? What's Walter Nolan making this year?
Well, you're suggesting something which I do not vibe with, is that the Cardinals would take a player at 3 and then use a 2027 first to trade up for Ty Simpson in the teens. Nightmare world.
Well, like, here's what you have to consider, my friend. As I have a grasp of the English language. I didn't put it on display there. You got the Jets, you got the Browns, both starting to pick around, again, 16th, and I think like in the early 20s. So if you want a Ty Simpson, you got to have to get up and pay the price.
I would rather.
And that's not what I'm suggesting. I'm not.
Yes, I understand. I'm not sitting here condoning this. I would rather do Ty Simpson at 3 than give up a first next year to trade up. I'm telling you right now, I would rather punt on Francis Mauigoa or Ruben Bain or Arvell Reese and take Ty Simpson 3rd overall. And this is all so stupid and ridiculous that we're sitting here having this conversation. Then to say, hey, guess what? We got Francis Mauigoa or David Bailey or whomever at 3rd overall. And then here come the Cardinals, and they've given up 34 and next year's 1 to whomever's picking like 15th, and they're taking Ty Simpson, and we're all just like, what the hell? They have the worst odds in the NFL. You can't do that.
Right.
You haven't lost me, Jonathan. I'm playing out this nightmare scenario because, like, what if the Cardinals are like, we actually don't like next year's quarterback class. We like this year's, and people are like, get help.
That's the worst of all realities. I agree. Like that is just not what you want to see from a team.
People are saying I have CTE and say, guys, I'm not saying I would take Ty Simpson at 3. But if the Cardinals were like, yeah, we're going to take Arvell Reese 3rd overall, and then we're going to trade into the first with our 1 next year to take Ty Simpson.
You ever see like those the footage or like pictures from disaster zones, and like all the traffic is stacked up going one direction, and then there's one car coming towards it, and that's the Cardinals trading out of the 2027 draft because the Jaguars, cute little prepubescent GM today was talking on one of the shows and was just like, GMs around the league are hesitant to part with any type of draft capital in 2027 because everybody's loading up and preparing for that draft, not this draft, not this offseason.
Scary times. All right. Well,
but you're now on record. You want Ty Simpson 3rd overall.
Shut up. Shut up. I would take, it's like I said yesterday, I would take Drew Aller at pick 34 and have no issue with it. None.
Such an overreach.
No, I don't care.
That's
whatever.
Like a first round pick, 34 overall.
That's like going to Spirit Halloween for your wardrobe. It's like, whatever. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes you overpay. Whatever.
For like your everyday wear?
Yeah. I'm just a bargain shop at Spirit Halloween.
I'm going to be a witch on Thursday. Just a random Thursday.
It's like that material's not very good. That's not going to hold up. That Fred Flintstone costume.
Freezing.
Here's the deal. I'm in the camp firmly that no one's coming up for the Cardinals pick, that they're going to have to make that pick. If they love Ty Simpson, hold on for dear life because it would involve 34 and more, much more to get up into the teens.
I'm just fully removing myself from Ty Simpson, except for that situation, Doc, that if he is there at 34, but I don't have the belief that he will be, that would mean most likely a 1 quarterback first round in the 2026 NFL draft. It'd be tough to see, no doubt about it. But I don't want the temptation for this organization to go in on Ty Simpson in 2026.
Why not?
Because of the things you're outlining, right? Because of the potential of the 27 draft. And also, I don't want them to get into the Ty Simpson, world through the next half decade. And you're trying to figure out, is he the guy? And then, next thing you know, it's year 4 of his rookie scale contract. And you're like, Do they have to? Should they pay him? And you just go through this whole rigmarole again. It's just like, no, if you've got your eye towards 2027, stake just is laser focused as you possibly can.
Get a quarterback. I can't watch these QBs.
Get that, but at least just get a chaotic one that isn't going to cost you capital,
right? For sure,
isn't going to tempt you to pass on 2027.
Oh yeah, like Drew Aller and Nussmeier and Carson Beck. You want to take them on day 2, and let's screw around. Yeah, let's do that. And then next year, and then they could hit. Great. And if not, then we'll go to next year. We're not going to wait till next year to talk about Josh Sweat. Around the corner, I'm going to tell you exactly what went down. And then we've got some presser clips. And our boy Bourne says exactly what we're all thinking, and it was great. That's coming up. I'm so fired up to talk about my friends at Circle K. Of course, we had Fuel Day that happened last February, but right now, every day is a day to save on premium gas for not a premium price. If you join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today, friends and family, you're going to save up to 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups, and then 5 cents per gallon every day after the fact. So easy to get started. All you got to do, bust out your smartphone, your mobile device, download the Inner Circle K app today. So easy to get enrolled. All you need to use is your phone number, and then you're scoring those sweet, sweet Circle K deals, like the 79-cent Polar Pop, the 99-cent Froster. Then they've got tons of general deals inside. Inner Circle or not, you're going to get 12-ounce Bud Heavy, Bud Light, Michelob Ultra for just $1.50 of the 16 ounces. The tall boys, if you will. Then they've got the 2 for $6 12-ounce Red Bull. And then how about the Meal Deal Matrix? $3, $4, and $6. I started my day with the $4 Meal Deal Matrix today. Breakfast Sammy hash brown, and of course, a Polar Pop, 44 ounces, a little bit of Diet Coke for your boy. Join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for more detail.
Many call that the breakfast of champions. Love to hear it, Johnny. Great way to start the day off on the right foot. If you're looking for some gear that's going to make your brand stand out, well, just look atop my head and Johnny's head and Noah's head. Why, we're all repping branded bills. Yes, it's that BB on the side of your hat that lets everybody know you're serious about elevating your brand and looking stylish while doing so. Let Branded Bills and their dedicated team help you create the exact custom apparel that you need, whether it's your company, slow pitch softball team, kids little league team, they got you covered. Snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, tees, Branded Bills, they've got you covered with performance and, of course, style. They've got their partnerships, 40 of them. Universities, including ASU, U of A, GCU, the Campus Collection, also partner with a nice basketball team called the Phoenix Suns. Ever heard of them? Local company in Mesa, Arizona, but they're international. They're worldwide. Head to brandedbills.com and use the code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. That's BBPHNX for 15% off at brandedbills.com.
All right, so there's some Joe Blow on Twitter that is dicking around saying Josh Sweat asked for a trade like yesterday. And then my initial comment from the other day on the show got aggregated because, of course. And then there was some other slappy that came out today with like no following and said that this is incorrect. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, and I will put everything on this that it took place because this source has been right 100% of the time.
Yeah.
The day that Jonathan Gannon got fired, there were players that were upset because they like Jonathan Gannon. It's not a shock to us. One of which was Josh Sweat, because Sweat had a relationship with JG. That's why he came here in part. And then he's had his best years of his career with Jonathan Gannon. His best year ever was this year in terms of sacks. His second best was the year they went to the Super Bowl. Josh Sweat asked to be traded that day. I staked my entire reputation on it that he was frustrated and asked to be traded because his coach was gone. Is that unusual? Of course not. That happens all the time across the NFL landscape. Players are, I'm not saying Josh is an emotional guy, but players are upset and they want to go pound the table for their guy. He has not been traded. I don't expect him to be traded now. That's why I didn't report it. And That's why we didn't put it out there, because the team wasn't going to accommodate that because his coach got fired. And I also thought, up until maybe recently, that the team was going to actively try, and you don't want to trade away a guy who had 12 sacks making $16 million. And I also do think that Nick Rallis being on the team, his DC still helps Josh Sweat. So
bingo.
Mac Wilson Sr. putting out there that, this didn't happen or it's not. Yeah. I'm sure he's not upset now. It's 2 months later, but he was upset the day JG got fired and asked to be traded. And since then, they have made up, and I would imagine he's going to play for the team this year. That's exactly what happened, and that's where things stand. They're not moving him, to my knowledge, now.
Right. What was true yesterday isn't true today.
Yeah.
And knee-jerk reaction by, I'm sure, some very emotional players after seeing their head coach be shown the door after anticipating his return. Whether you think that was fair or not, it doesn't mean that they held a grudge or let it linger up into this point. I'm sure if there was a legitimate trade request, you probably would have heard it from a more legitimate source than you saw today. So we're not
put it through his agent. There's a whole thing.
Yeah, we're not going to fuel those flames by any means, but it also doesn't, take away from very reliable source that has been there. That I agree with Johnny, and I'm not going to think twice about it, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't give credence to today's report or whatever that was.
Just to give you some insight, and probably even shouldn't be sharing this. The day Jonathan Gannon got fired. No, I don't care anymore. The day Jonathan Gannon got fired, Monti Ossenfort and Michael Bidwill fired JG, and then Jonathan Gannon was about to go. We know this is out there, that he was going to go meet with the players, right? He was meeting with the players one-on-one. He was going to go address the team. And then Monty and Bidwill fired Gannon, and then either Monty or Bidwill's like, we'll go talk to the team. And Gannon's like, F that, I'm talking to the team, and I'm saying goodbye. And he went and he gave an emotional goodbye to the team. And I'm sure that's what prompted this.
Sure.
Right after that, that's what happened. End of story. Because, a lot of players love JG. It's unfortunate it didn't work out.
Yeah.
And now here we are in this fresh hell.
Fear not. And for those who are trying to, thirst over what a guy like Josh Sweat could maybe get you in return, probably you're wasting your time entertaining that.
Let's talk about some of these new players, Bo, that you talked to today.
Got to talk to Tyler Allgeier, Cardinals' newest running back, and then Kendrick Bourne, a very dapper Kendrick Bourne, came in. Let's talk about Allgeier first. Okay. I think this is going to be quick. He came in. A lot of people are kind of debating where he fits in as far as this running back room, because we do know James Conner took a significant pay cut to stay here. Trey Benson is in that room. They re-signed on a restricted free agent tender, or just re-signed Bam Knight. So it's a crowded running back room, and Tyler Allgeier just joining that crew.
She was I think it's a really great fit, great organization. I think it should be really good being able to pair with James, and should be really good being able to complement each other. Should be awesome.
Talking about James, it's the only person he mentioned as far as the running back room. So he's excited to work with James Conner there. Tyler Allgeier, James Conner. We'll see what happens with Trey Benson. I'm not going to read too much into Tyler Allgeier's comment to think like, oh, he didn't mention Trey. What's that all mean? I did ask him as far as just outside zone. He's actually really kind of well-versed to run in this type of scheme. And he shed some light in his answer why he is so fit to do that, plus what we should anticipate from a run game from Mike LaFleur.
I think it all came from running at BYU, the Y zone, and then being in Atlanta, and then with Coach LaFleur, being from the Rams, being able to bring it back here, and how much success they had with the Rams, being able to bring it here. I think it's really going to be really successful. I think they're bringing in all the pieces to make it really good. So I think it should be good. I think a lot of excitement for this team, for this offense, for defense, really for everything. So it should be awesome.
This is a good signing. I have no issue with it.
Yeah.
It gets lost in the disaster nightmare world from earlier this week, but like Tyler Allgeier is probably going to be the starter in 2027, barring something unforeseen, and he's going to be a co-starter this year. Trey Benson's not going to be on this team this year. I think Trey Benson gets dealt during the draft or during training camp. And the reason I say that is just there's not enough carries to go around. So on average, Tyler Allgeier's toting the rock, and this is behind Bijan, about 140 plus times a year. Doesn't catch the ball that often, right around 15 catches. So you're looking at about, let's round up, 150 touches behind Bijan Robinson. Then James Conner, you can't look at his peak seasons, but let's say James Conner touts the ball equally. There's 300 carries for James and for Tyler Allgeier, who's they're not then saying, hey, Trey Benson, you also can carry the ball 100 plus times. It's not happening. So if James Conner's healthy and he's getting $3 million and they're bringing him back because they think he is, and Tyler Allgeier was the literal first signing they made, Trey Benson's toast. He's not going to be a factor on this team.
Man, mathematician Johnny Venerable breaking down running back carries. Johnny Venerable, 2026, saying 3 is too many mouths to feed. Where last year he's saying, bring on Cam Scatterbo. Get him in this running back
I wasn't
room.
sold on Trey
That's
Benson.
the math.
Because I wasn't sold on Trey Benson, and I was ready to do Scat and JC. Check the tape. I mean, LaFleur, Shanahan, LaFleur's brother.
Yeah.
2 backs mostly. There ain't a third back. Bam Knight's going to be the third back or a draft pick. Trey Benson's not long for this franchise.
It's a shame. 66 overall pick, top, firmly in the top 100. Should have been part of a franchise-altering draft from the Arizona Cardinals, and we're playing the waiting game as far as that goes. I think it is tough to tell if that's Johnny V or Albert E. Einstein.
Yeah.
I think we'll end it there with the Allgeier stuff. Great kid. Excited to see what he brings to the table. But who brought a lot of juice today to his press conference looking suave and dapper was Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah.
Put ink to paper on his deal, 2 years, over $11 million to join the Arizona Cardinals. Gave us some insight what brought him to the desert. Let's start with him and his relationship with his head coach, Michael LaFleur.
Yes, obviously Mike LaFleur, that's my guy. He helped me so much my rookie year. He actually was one of the people that brought me into the league, and so he developed me well in the receiver room, and we just had a strong connection, strong relationship, and that's what I've been taking pride in, is building a relationship with people, and it's helped me this far. So he's somebody that I'm very close to and I'm passionate about. So I'll run through a wall for that guy. You know what I'm saying? I'll go over the middle. I'll 4 or 5 block, 8, 9 block, whatever I got to do to help the team and help him start his head coaching career off right. So that was my main passion, and and obviously the organization, it stands for itself. You know what I'm saying? When I said the competitive spirit and what it's built, and I want to help build that some more.
Trenches guy. Plays wide receiver, plays the diva position, but he's a trenches guy for Michael LaFleur. You love to hear it.
He's the best third receiver they've had in probably half a decade. I mean, that's
probably
cool.
Smoke.
Yeah, I mean, I think back. Do you remember that game against the Rams? I think it was on Thursday Night Football early in the season, like October. Mac Jones. It was Mac Jones, Thursday Night Football at LA. And Kendrick Bourne had at least 100 yards in that game and caught a bunch of targets. I mean, he's a nice possession underneath receiver.
Yeah.
And again, that's what they want. They want big possession receivers. That's why I think Marv's going to explode and have a nice year. Michael's going to continue to ascend. I mean, but he did that with Mac Jones. So we balk at Ty Simpson. It's that's the comp. It's a Ty Simpson, Mac Jones, Brock Purdy-esque that can shine in this system. So I have no issue with this. He's got a money quote you're talking about, the Cardinals being the only team bidding on him or bidded it up. And listen, at the end of the day, this franchise should have to do that right now with the optics.
Yeah. Everybody talks about how he's going to fit in. I asked him about just kind of his excitement level playing with guys like Michael Wilson, like Marv, like Trey. This was the answer.
I'm super excited, man. I actually met Wilson after the game when he went for 200. I was like, I had to just go up to him and just give him his flowers. I was like, bro, I don't know where you came from, but like that was phenomenal. And he followed me on socials and stuff like that, so connected with him. Been a fan of Marv since college. McBride is just a beast. The way he was talking out there on the field when we were competing, I just love seeing all that stuff. So being a fan of the game, I see people, and now to be teaming with these guys, I'm just here to bring some energy to them, help them grow, and I know they're gonna help me grow. So I'm excited.
All right, that was a nice bite. Now let's get to the real bite.
Johnny wants to
get to the real bite.
This is an interesting bite. I'll give my thoughts about how I really feel about it. I know how the crew here at PHNX, they saw it, I think, in text first before hearing Kendrick Bourne say it, because I witnessed it and I heard what he said, and I don't feel like it means what other people feel like it means. But you guys, you can make that determination yourself. Here's Kendrick Bourne just talking more about joining the Cardinals and his belief in Coach Michael LaFleur.
No, that's a great question, man. It's that's just every organization situation. They're trying to find the guy, and that's what it is. So my biggest thing was Mike in the space that I was at, and I'm like, I trust you, Mike. I don't care if you don't have a quarterback. I don't care if you don't have an O-line. I trust you, and I know what you're going to build. And if I'm a piece to that puzzle, hey, add me now, and you can deal with the quarterback situation later. And so it didn't really concern me because it comes down to timing. And if I can get open and the O-line can block, we're going to move the ball. But if we can't block and I don't run good routes and run it at the right timing, we're not going to do anything. So the pieces come together, so I wasn't really too concerned. Gardner's a great quarterback. Jacoby, great quarterback. So draft coming up, never know what's going to happen, but I just believe in my abilities. I believe in the team abilities, and I think that's going to fix any problem that we might deal with.
People lost their mind. Teo Mackey put that quote into text form. People thought it was hilarious, and because it was hilarious. It was hilarious. I think what I take out of that is that when Mike and Kendrick spoke, that there was an understanding like we're still uncertain at quarterback. And that's what I took from that. And then he lumped in offensive line, like, hey, I don't care if you don't have a quarterback or a tight end or a defensive line. Like, he added that on. I think, dude, no, he mentioned Gardner Minshew before Jacoby. The guy knows.
He just met Gardner minutes before
right,
that.
For sure.
Before that. I mean, I know Jacoby was at the back of the press room and his gigantic, picture that's up there on the wall now.
Just stalking everyone.
There he is. A constant stark reminder of who QB1 is right now. But I think it's just him being like hyperbolic where it's like, you might not know, if the sun is going to rise tomorrow and this and that, but I do trust Michael LaFleur. I'm going to focus on what I can focus on. Like I didn't buy into it. Like, I don't think he was just furthering.
He wasn't ripping the team.
Quarterback. Yeah.
I don't think so either. And again, did we all laugh at the bite? It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it so much because it basically was reinforcing everything we know. Guys, they don't have a quarterback under contract after this year.
Right.
Jacoby, Gardner, whatever slop they've got. Like, it's not around. It's not going to be around in 2027. Right now, at least. The players understand. The players get it, right? It just feels like with this fan base right now and being told this is what's happening, guys, and almost just like deal with it. Mm-hmm. People don't want to hear that. Whereas players are much more likely, and Kendrick signed a multi-year deal, to go with the flow. And then also, and I'm guilty of this, who's on this team in August? Who's on this team in training camp? Right. What does the quarterback room and the depth chart look like at Halloween? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if they draft a quarterback within the first 3 rounds and this team stinks it up to begin the season, they're going to play a rookie sooner than later, right? So this is all cyclical, but the Cardinals, everybody knows, maybe everybody but Monty, they don't have a quarterback. Everybody gets that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no, I mean, as he said, to start out the quote, and I think Weinfuss's question directed to Kendrick Bourne to get that response was, the unknown of the position and him not shying away from that. And it is refreshing to hear an honest answer, no doubt about it, because you've gotten everything but honesty. You've gotten just, here's your quarterback room for 2026, and then you do what you will with that. And it's here's QB1, here's QB2. So him being honest, like every organization's trying to find that guy. This organization is specifically fits into that category. What's it going to be? And then he expressed his trust in Michael LaFleur. So yeah, we almost felt like you can't deny it, and I'm not going to. I don't want to take away from Kendrick Bourne, being good in the press room, and Tyler Allgeier, the two people we talked to today. You can't get out of that facility without putting the incident board back to 0 days without incident.
What was the incident today?
I just feel like that.
I
mean, it wasn't a big one, and it shouldn't be a dark cloud. Like, it didn't text form. I think it sends the wrong messaging about how it was conveyed, but it still is that still needs to be the number one answer that they figure out.
Well, yeah, everybody should have to answer it always, forever, until they get serious about it. Had they signed Malik Willis, guess what he'd be talking about? I'm excited to see Malik Willis. Yeah. I'm excited to run around with Malik on the practice field, and I watched him from afar, and he did some good things. You don't get that now. And listen, that doesn't mean much before the games start. So I fully understand that. I actually think the incident board took place with a subtle announcement of who they re-signed today. And I want to talk about that around the corner. And does it impact the 3rd overall pick? That and your super chats coming up. Hit the like. It's PHNX. I'm going to tell you why Mountain America Credit Union is going to hook you up with the My Style rewards. Okay. Everyone needs a checking account. Again, that's just meat and potatoes. But what about a checking account that does more for you, like built-in benefits, those built-in bennies? What are you talking about, Johnny? I'm talking about the Mountain America's My Style checking account with the perks just for you. Enjoy restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access. How about loan rate discounts? You can get discounts on loans, identity protection, offers on travel and events, so much more. See for yourself right now. Make My Style your lifestyle at Mountain America Credit Union. Go to macu.com. That's macu.com/mystyle to apply. And if you're like, well, I don't know, I've been with my same checking account, branch for forever, and I don't know if I want to branch out. What's the deal with Mountain America? Well, they've been here since the early 1900s. Hello, almost 100 years in business with over 100 branches across Arizona, Utah, Idaho, Montana, and even Nevada. They got the Southwest covered with 1.2 plus million members. Again, insured by the NACU. Visit macu.com/mystyle to apply. Membership required based on eligibility. Some bennies require no cost registration and activation. Terms and conditions and exclusions will apply.
Say what you will about the Cardinals offseason, but they're absolutely looking to upgrade their protection. Surfshark helps humanize privacy and security solutions to safeguard your data and privacy online. That's right. Surfshark. Think VPA or VPN. It's like wearing pants, right? I mean, when you step outside, all the important stuff stays covered. Once you connect on the internet, Surfshark encrypts your activity, keeping it hidden from snoopers, trackers, and anyone trying to peek at your business. Stay away. Get them out of there. 2 things I love about Surfshark. One account covers unlimited devices. So your phone, laptop, tablet, even your whole household are all protected without juggling subscriptions. Second, they've got 30-day money-back guaranteed. You can try it out risk-free and see how it fits into your daily routine. Go to surfshark.com/PHNX right now. Use the code PHNX at checkout. Get 4 extra months of risk-free 30-day money-back guaranteed of Surfshark VPN. Surfshark.com/PHNX, code PHNX.
Hit that like button. Know if we could, can we review today's additions to the Cardinals roster? all the way down there on March 12th. They did the announcement of Allgeier, the long snapper, which we're never going to talk about, Gardner Minshew, Matt Pryor, the other Jonah Williams, who actually is not that bad. And then there's an old friend, Elijah Wilkinson. And I'm like, is that the same guy? What has Elijah Wilkinson been doing since the Cardinals cut him in 2023 or let his contract expire? He's been bouncing around. Little did I know that when I think it was Jake Matthews got hurt for the Falcons last year, that Elijah Wilkinson went on to start all 17 games at right tackle last year for the Atlanta Falcons. Dear God, I immediately thought to myself, there is no way in hell that Monti Ossenfort out here with almost $50 million in cap space is signing Elijah Wilkinson to play right tackle for this team, Bo. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I think he's just a placeholder as it stands right now. I mean, do you want me to say definitively he's not going to start at right tackle? Because I don't think I can rule that out.
Oh my God.
Do you? Can you definitively rule it out?
No.
I mean, when you look at it, how much he played last year, is there a third tackle option? I don't
like,
know.
Is he the swing tackle?
I know they've got Christian Jones. I know they've got Josh Fryer on this roster. We'll see what, the contract details are. But, like, you look at it, how he graded out, and this is according to PFF, and you say, hey, that's not the worst. But when you dig deeper, 12 penalties, right up there near the most penalized tackles in the league, 6 sacks allowed, quite a bit of action getting to your quarterback. It's still the same. Like, it was a tough 2025 for Elijah Wilkinson. I know he was bumping back out the tackle from when he played inside for the Cardinals. It's just, this is another one where it just doesn't add anything to turn away or change the narrative surrounding this team's offseason.
Did he sign a 2-year deal?
Let me double check what it was, what the details were.
I want to say he signed a 2-year deal. Ryan's saying camp booty.
Yes, it is 2 years. Yeah.
So this is not a camp body. This is a guy that they were like, let's get you locked in for 2 years. Big yikes. That's a bigyikes.com. That's because Matt Pryor, we saw, he's a backup. Like, he's a backup. He could be a camp body. He could play all 6 positions or all 5 positions, maybe. You got John Gaines, Isaiah Adams, right?
Yeah.
You got some options at guard. Then, of course, you signed Isaac. This is the right tackle who's going to be running with the ones until the draft.
Well, you heard Allgeier's comments about the run scheme, right? Mm-hmm. LaFleur's doing a lot of what they did in Los Angeles and a lot of what they did in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Was it Zach Robinson down there at the time?
Who worked under McVay as his quarterback coach.
Right. So Allgeier comes. You've got Wilkinson in the interim, depending on what happens in the draft. But even if they don't take a tackle 3rd overall, which, it's likely, right? I mean, that's the debate, because you take pass rush or you take tackle. If you wait till the 2nd round and that's the earliest you take it, like, those are still probably developmental guys, probably not guys you're seeing start week 1.
Yeah, if you're taking a tackle 34th overall, they'd have to have an outstanding training camp to start right away. Interesting.
Just being realistic there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a scary deal.
Like, if you think of 2023, the team was given an extreme amount of grace in 2023, but who were some of the players that did not receive that due to poor play? And you can identify Elijah Wilkinson as one of those guys. Fair enough.
He played guard. Didn't play tackle, but he was atrocious. He was terrible. And he was terrible with Clayton Adams, who made everybody look good, who made Evan Brown look good. And then this past year, he was bad, and he just got cut.
Yeah, and there are going to be people out there saying, like, what about Christian Jones? I like Christian Jones, Senior Bowl, 5th round pick. He was hurt last year. What about Christian Jones? What about Josh Fryer? Thought he did well. It's Michael LaFleur's show now. Like, these aren't, like, it wasn't Petzing and Gannon that are still in the building that helped pick out those guys. This is Michael LaFleur who's going to want to operate a specific way, and maybe he didn't have the same confidence that they might have had with Jones and Fryer. Like they're clearly looking for even like the most minor upgrade.
It's Dirty Mike and the boys. These are his boys. These are his guys. Allgeier, Wilkinson, defensive lineman Jonah Williams. He had 3 sacks last year. Here's what I'll say about the not atrocious Jonah Williams. And I looked this up today. Okay. He gets a 2-year deal. Okay. He's 6'5". He's 30 years old. He's older. Played for the Rams.
No, he's got a 1-year deal.
I'm reading it says 2-year deal.
I'm looking at the press release. It says Jonah Williams 1-year deal.
Okay. Well, somebody needs to tell Jess Root his article title is incorrect then. All right. 1-year deal, 2-year deals, whatever. 3 sacks last year. He's 6'5", 275. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Played for the Rams for 4 years. Okay. Started a bunch of games and then went to New Orleans last year. And the only thing that concerns me is who is the Saints DC last year. I think we all know. Who it was. And so,
Brandon Staley.
Right. And who's buddies with Gannon. And they run the same defense or close to it. So it's not surprising that they brought him in. If Rollis is doing a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah. Thinking that defensive line room, like you see Dalvin exit and you bring back Roy Lopez, who played the same position as Dalvin the previous season, just a little bit better.
Yeah.
You're going to be maybe a little bit better there. Bring back Collier. He was when healthy, was one of more of your consistent guys. You have Stills. You need something from D-Rob. You hope Walter Nolan gets back. And then you've got this addition, and this is something you would outline, or you even before the other moves were done. This is what we thought the approach was going to be on the defensive line.
1-year deal,
splash moves, yeah.
And you could take another defensive lineman in the draft.
Yeah.
I
didn't see them tied to that Clemson D lineman today. I didn't get any. There was no reports of Cardinals watching him work out.
Interesting. I mean, they have 2 first-round defensive tackles. You need those guys to produce. It is what it is. So those were the moves today. Before we get to Super Chats, do you expect any more moves? They've signed a backup safety. They've signed a tweener right tackle. Scary. They've got running backs. They've got a third receiver.
Left guard.
They've got a left guard. They've got, we would like more prove it at pass rusher, but they have bodies.
Mm-hmm.
The Barron and Zaven are still here. And then, of course, you got Ojulari, Birch, Josh Sweat. You can add 1/3 overall. Maybe an off-ball linebacker.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe off-ball linebacker. You'll always see depth added to the O-line. I think that there's a good chance they add a quarterback and rotate out Slovis. I just think that happens. And then probably another wide receiver.
Fair. Yep.
But headline moves, I don't know. I'm hard pressed to find one.
Why free up this money then?
Right.
All these players that we broke down today are getting very small deals. Very small.
Don't you think it would have to come via trade?
A lot of the top 100 free agents are available. I don't think they can afford to trade for guys.
Right. You don't want to give up anything as far as 27. But I'm talking you got Benson, you got Max Melton. What's their future hold?
Oh, shipping people out.
Yeah.
If they have trade value. Yeah. This roster needs more. Needs more.
Cousins here. Somebody's saying Cousins in the chat. What are they going to do with Cousins? They're going to have the battle of the mid quarterback competition. Jacoby, Cousins, and Gardner Minshew.
No, I'm on the rookie train now.
Or young guy train, right?
Get a rookie guy in. Get a rookie in here. Enough of this charade. I know you're not into it. I can't watch these guys all year. I can't do it.
Give me Will Levis.
You're not getting them. Larry, $2. At this point, make Noah the GM. Fa! That was from me. That was from me like yesterday, I think. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Larry. Let's keep it going. How about Iron Will? Be truthful. How many glanced at the Jonah Williams signing and flipped out? I was like, WTF, are they signing him again? And I see defensive line.
No, there's no way they could do that. Here's the one thing, Iron Will, they've cut the people who were bad last year. They're not still on this team. They've cut like Evan Brown, like the people who did not look good last year, they're not going to be on the team this year.
Yeah. How about Dave from MV? Maybe Nevada?
Yeah.
Been in a coma since August. Get me spun up. Did we button down on offense and make a playoff push? I hope none of the bad teams try to poach Rawls for head coach.
Go back in that coma, Dave. It's better than this world that we're living in right now. I'm praying for a coma with this week. How this week is gone.
You're going up to Sedona, man. I'm going to get you a helmet. I need you to be safe up there, my man.
Thank you, Dave.
Ranger slip on the Red Rocks.
Ranger, $20. Wonder if Monty got told he is safe this year because he has yet to pick his QB, and the way free agency has gone seems like it. It sure does. But if you're Monty, it's like, are you just trying to wrangle up the most losses ever for a GM in a 4-year period? Trying to get that plaque?
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. How about Andrew McCarville? Hearing the little we've heard about K1 benching, go back and look at Bidwill and Monti Ossenfort's faces in the presser on Black Monday. Guilty. Did JG dirty.
Yep. And Gannon didn't help himself with Drew. I mean, that was big. That was the biggest thing because Monty is reacting to the on-field play, and they're like, "Well, it's the quarterback, and it's not the coaching." I mean, there was too little coaching accountability that happened. That's where I'll push back on JG.
Still 700 people watching. Do us a favor. Hit that like button. Get us in front of more Cardinals fans out there. I want to continue to talk about this team for the most people possible. Doing that helps us so much. Thank you if you've already done so. How about Andrew? K1 wins enough games to keep JG's job.
Agreed.
Very likely.
100%.
I think that those games that got out of hand early, and Kyler, and the style of offense that he ran, where sometimes it wouldn't turn into points, but at least kept the offense on the field and from leads getting built quickly, he just didn't have that. So, yeah, I think that is. Logan Little saying just go be great, K1.
That's right. We agree with that.
Yeah, I watched the introductory presser there in Minnesota. Talk with the media for about 15 minutes. It was strange because, like, honestly, we hadn't talked to Kyler Murray since before week 5.
Yeah.
Like, he did his weekly Wednesday presser going into the Titans game, and then the man was gone. So heard him, like, it's a cool story as far as he was a Vikings fan growing up. He had, like, the little thing about, like, he cried real tears when Brett Favre threw that back-breaking pick to the Saints back when they had a really good team with him and Peterson. So, this is a show that is going to root for Kyler Murray, even though he's not in Arizona any longer.
No doubt about it. Jacob, been a member for 2 months. Are we trading for a QB? Hopium. I can't stand this team right now. It's the most unlikable they've been, and that's saying something. We got a lot of time before the season kicks off. I'm holding out hope that they add a quarterback, a notable quarterback, or someone to give this fan base hope. They've had to have seen the blowback of this week, and they should have to eat it. Michael, $2. Monty is an idiot. Not had a good week. And his pre-draft press conference with Mike LaFleur is going to be something to behold, Bo.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be very little about the prospects.
Brian P. Spot Track has Kyler Murray as a free agent next year, saving money for him? LOL. Just kidding. But also, isn't there a rule about having to use so much of the cap?
Yeah, you have to spend so much of it. But, I mean, the Cardinals, look at the Jets and the Raiders right now. Especially the Jets, they can't spend their money.
Remember Washington last offseason? Like, they signed an absurd amount of people. Like, they couldn't spend enough. And you know what? The one thing I'll tip a cap to EB, Eric Burkhart, remember? Hey, it's my Cardinals guys. It's me, EB. at the Indy night spot. Got to catch up with him, but good on him and Kyler getting the no tag clause on his contract.
Yep.
So like if Kyler balls or if he leads them, where they want to go, they can't just slap a franchise tag on him. He can kind of control his own destiny. Betting on himself a little bit there. Got to appreciate that.
Tyler, $2.79. This is the lowest I've ever seen this franchise. Agreed.
Yeah.
Hard agree. This is the worst it's been. Nowhere to go but up, though.
And not shocking is like once you hear from the new players, you feel a little bit better about it. And then you look back and then you look at the roster and then you feel bad again. But Daddy Rabbits, how is this offseason winning back fan support?
It's not. And Michael Bidwill will understand when the season ticket, results come in, and they'll have. I'm convinced they'll have to pivot during this offseason. There's just you can't. This isn't sustainable. Brian P. This might be how they pivot. $2, Bo. Drew Aller at 34. Not good for my mental health.
Drew Aller has a long way to go as far as just this mechanics in his game. I was talking to somebody who follows Penn State closely today, and it just said, like, as gifted as they come, strongest arm probably in the draft. His footwork is atrocious.
He's fine.
And he's really kind of lived off of being the best athlete on the field his career. He's got a long way to go from development standpoint.
He's exactly what we need. How dare you? Corey, $5. I don't see how Brissett is the starter with him making less than Minshew. I assume he would want a new deal as a starter. Brissett, holdout, LOL. Florio was a little incorrect. So his base salary is less than Minshew, but his total cap hits more.
Yeah.
So, but again, they're both making under 20 million combined. It's a joke. This isn't how real franchises operate.
I would like to say this to the fan base. All the logic that you thought previously applied to quarterback rooms in the NFL, it's not going to apply to this quarterback room this year. Like they're just going to operate under a different plan, a different approach, and it's unfortunate.
Terrence's
tidbits,
$9.99. The only four QBs to pass for more than 225 with a completion of plus 55. Wentz, Huntley, Fernando Mendoza, and Cole Payton. He's the QB to take. Well, he doesn't have a lot of juice right now. I think he's a consensus day 3 guy, but there are a lot of people in your bandwagon. It's just, I think, concerned about the competition level. But I mean, he's a project though. He's a definite project.
What was the criteria on that?
255 plus a game and over 55 completion percentage.
And it was in the FCS, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Mr. Thomas. Yeah, it's not in the Division 1. New potential hidden gems. Cole Payton. Here's another one. We need to sit for a year or two. Could turn out to be really good. A lot of Cole Payton fans in this fan base right now.
Payton to Harrison. That's like great value. Manning to Harrison.
That would be funny. 1976 Starks. $2. The money is going to build to a building being finished in 2027. So people think Cardinals are using their extra cap space to fund the new workout facility.
Man, if that's the case, then we are down even more horrendous than we originally thought. It's like, we'll just take it out of the cap. You can't touch that money. Goes to the roster. That's it.
Yeah. Brian P., $2. Did Drew Petzing at least apologize for getting Jeff Gannon fired? I'm sure that Gannon apologized to his staff for not winning more games. Nobody's apologizing. JG, for all the kind of mud that's slung at him toward the end of the season, like he stood up for his coaches till the end and his players. But yeah, I think he needed to be a little bit more selfish for sure, Brian.
How about this from Iron Will? Before March, we had $39 million with the release so far. After June 6, cap totals $71 million with signings $50 million. First year draft salary $17 million. We have approximately $13 million left. That's without Sweat and Baker restructures.
And they're not going to restructure. I mean, they have a loaded cap. It'll carry over to next year. I'm hoping that they do a mover here to shock the fan base. But I mean, all the signings have been very, very reasonably small outside of Isaac.
That's good math there, though. I appreciate you doing crunching those numbers, Will. How about Jack? Aaron Rodgers, come on down, please.
I need it like I need air.
But Steelers, I mean, how foolish would they look if they're, they go out there and they trade for Michael Pittman and they're like, here you go, Will Howard. Their fan base would riot.
We'll trade him, Jacoby. The Frank, $55. Would Tampa trade Baker? He's on his last year of his contract. They have the 15 pick. They could draft Ty Simpson. What we've seen even if you've got a fringe quarterback or somebody that you maybe like but don't love, you're not getting rid of them because that's how people get fired.
Yeah.
Like Monty. Like Monty's going to get fired. If
Todd Bowles, with his back against the wall, is willing to trade Baker Mayfield and have him and Jason like pulling off a deal like that, like they're going to stake their career on Ty Simpson. I don't think so. That's
sucked.
It's career suicide. Eris, how about great job as usual, guys? Does unused cap roll over into next season with all this cap space? Who else is available to sign? And does Monty make any more moves? Hashtag Painville in LA.
Yeah, I mean, you get to roll it over. There are people to sign. Well, I think we'll probably do best available tomorrow. I think Monty. I mean, it's crazy. We're only like technically 2 days into the new league year. I think they make a trade or two, either to unload people or to acquire somebody. But I think right now, like this roster needs some vets, some quality vets to help like get the sweat version offensively, but doesn't look like they're doing that.
Appreciate the love, Eris. Reese with Kendrick's comments really makes me think we're getting Ty Simpson.
It's a very real possibility, and we'll know more as we get closer to the draft and if he does a top 30 visit. Would have no issue with it, honestly. I know Bo's not in that camp. I can't watch this horror show all year. 90s Poppy, $4.99. I think Simpson is just as good as Mendoza. Before Indiana, he was a scrub at Cal. If we continue to build the trenches, he'll succeed. He was the best quarterback in college football until Halloween. Then he broke down, and Mendoza got it going.
Jenga Man, Kime, Billy Price, Monty, Petzing. Keep bald people away.
Stay away, frauds.
Bald is...
No, we like.
I don't support being against bald people on this show.
No, I mean, who's a good bald person for this franchise?
You wanted Robert Saleh.
I did,
and then he took all the remaining baldies and put them on his staff.
Got the good baldies. Jack, $1.99. They definitely signed Jonah Williams to rage bait. Yeah, they did. And they're like, we don't know much about him, but it's gonna piss everybody off. Let's do it.
Monti Ossenfort just operating from a troll standpoint. It's like, I'll show them. Let's just see how they react. I got Jonah Williams from the Saints. Hilarious.
Steven Jackson. Feels like all signs are pointing to Reese at 3. How dare you? Please no.
How about Brian P? We all know.
Stop. Next super chat, Brian. He tried to get us. All right. JV, got any insider information leak on the draft party? If we all ask, we can get more than one detail. It's going to be a 2-night event. And I think it's going to be at Gila. I'm not there. I don't know. It's a 2-night event, and we're going to be hanging out, Brian. And the packages are the best they've ever been, and they're affordable, and there's going to be merch, and there's going to be stuff that you get for free. And I think we can announce it next week.
Perfect.
And if we can, I'm just going to announce it anyway. Brian P. comes back. Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, or a day 3 rookie, please. Cross out that 3 and put a 2, and we're in good shape.
No. 3, day 3.
No.
Keeping it going.
I want somebody who's going to push this group. Just their young moxie.
Mo AZ Cards fan, TBT. Rod Graves, don't judge us until we go to camp. Then pass on Terrell Suggs. Trade down and take Bryant Johnson and Calvin Pace. They stunk.
Here's a counter. I thought they were going to be great last year, and they were maybe the worst team in the NFL. So,
most disappointing by far.
Oh, easily. They were a disaster. Jonathan Castro, $9.99. Next year will be fun with the top rookie QB and all the cap space, but punting a whole year away after the one we just had hurts. That's why I'm convinced I'm not convinced that they're tanking.
It's excruciating. The idea of not going into 26 with competitive aspirations, even at like the slightest level, it pains me every day.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like what you're outlining there at the beginning, that sounds electric, but we're a long way from that.
Our Perry's been a member for 3 months. Thank you so much. You guys here in Sweaty J's won't. Thanks, Johnny and Bo, for keeping us sane. So we broke that down. I would expect him to be on the team, but thank you for the question.
How about this Frank Paddock? What's up, Frank? Love at 3 and find a way for Beck and Aller. Look at the numbers. Beck's numbers versus Murray, Rosen, Josh Allen. Allen, worst of all. Coach him up. I hate my life rooting for this team.
Emphasis on the latter. I think Carson Beck late on or sometime on day 3 wouldn't have an issue with that. Yeah. Drew Aller, Nussmeier on day 2, Ty Simpson on day 1. No issue with all those. Like all those options in various opinions.
Appreciate the $25.
Thank you so much,
Frank. Desert Vulture, main positive I see, by the way, this is all caps, is much better coaching staff. Hope this rubs off on Rollis.
100%. It's a reason why they're going to win more games. And health and strength of schedule. Like their schedule last year and their health were bad, but the coaching was just not.
Schedule is pretty bad again. Right now they've got like the 3rd hardest schedule.
That's fine. Larry Max,
yeah,
$2, but they will be better. If Kyler wins the Super Bowl in Minnesota, I might shed a tear. I would definitely cry. I would definitely cry about that.
Happy for him. You're not gonna get grown man tears for me.
No, I'd be happy for him and sad for us. That would be very sad.
It would be. Would Monty get the Kwesi treatment?
He's getting that anyway. He's getting fired anyway. Dave, $4.99. What if Monty is a good GM but can't sign free agents because veterans know better than to play for Bidwill? What's the excuse for his draft picks?
Yeah, they did that. There's a new site out there. Forgive me for not remembering what it's called, but did like a deep dive on drafts. And Monty, a GM of a self-proclaimed draft and develop team, is like 13th, which is it's fine.
Yeah,
if that's where you're going to emphasize and that's where you're going to get most of the talent on your team, I would argue you have to be better than that. Like being in the top half of the league ain't good enough. And if you're going to be mediocre at best there, but fail in the other categories of being a GM, like trades and free agency, then it's just not going to work.
Brian's been a member for 4 months. Good friend of the show. Thank you, Brian. Yeah. Dishing out some takes on Twitter lately. I can't get behind a Ty Simpson pick. We need Maui Noah with our first pick and a D-line upgrade shot with our second. Also, thank you for this community for being great. Well, I appreciate you, Brian. And I like those options as well. I just right now the sticker shock of what's happened this week has me legitimately insane. So, but I like if they don't end up with Ty Simpson, like I'm not going to cry about it. It's not going to bother me.
You'll cry only when Kyler wins the Super Bowl with the Vikings.
Yeah. And Cam Scatterbo makes all pro.
Are you an easy crier?
No.
When was the last time you cried?
We're not getting into this. Aris, $4.99. Safe to say nobody knows what this franchise is going to do. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Because Monday was insane.
Yeah. They're way out of control. Like it is tough to pinpoint. Too chaotic for me to try to like even figure out what's going on.
Skeezy going back to back. Same super chat. Thank you so much. I see no progression with the safety core. None. I think Taylor Demerson's going to be good. He just can't get hurt again.
I actually like. I was going to say this yesterday. I think I mentioned on the show. Like Wingard, I think it's a decent addition. Like you talk about how poor the run defense was, how bad the tackling was, and that's a guy that's his calling card. He was better in coverage than he was last year. I think some of the things that he can bring over, like things we liked about Coach Camp, that was one of the Cardinals finalists. I think he could add some toughness to the defense. So I actually like the safety core with it being, Rabbit with the ball skills. You got Buddha, what he does, and then Wingard brings some toughness to the run game.
Ranger, $5. I'm telling you this now. You better hope that the Jets take Reese because if he's there at 3, God help us, bro. I feel the same way. I think you have to make sure that the Jets, the scheme fits better. But we're a long way. We got 6 weeks to figure that out. But Monty can't help himself. Desert Vulture, $2. 2026 QB plan, rock, paper, scissors, you're in. I'd love for them to do that and then also include like a Kirk Cousins or Derek Carr and just have a round robin.
How about this from Sports Hero? Kendrick Bourne reminds me a bit of Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character in Jerry Maguire, Rod Tidwell.
Yeah. There's no Jake Plummer to save this team this year, unfortunately. Who's
Gardner gives me big time Jake vibes.
That's true. That's
big time Jake vibes.
I wish we could enjoy his edition.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to yet.
I know. Joe, is Jerry Maguire the last time we were good?
No, with an older coach by the name of Bruce Arians, who legitimately saved this franchise for half a decade. It was fantastic. Real Tone Ranger, $10. Thank you so much. Paying for training facilities with cap money is like the scene at the end of Slammin' Salmon when your champ takes all the money from the waiter tips to pay Yakuza. I don't remember that one. I'll have to check that one out. But
that was the was that like the Super Troopers group?
Yeah,
and I think it was their follow-up to it. And I'm like, Super Troopers was amazing, and then I saw Slammin' Salmon. I'm like, what did I just watch? But had some funny moments for sure.
Yeah, the magic dust is worn off.
Keystone Blue Coat, Joey Bosa, anyone? On second thought, he'd probably laugh if Monty called him.
No, he's too old and he gets hurt. They're going to take an edge rusher in this draft, and then let's see Jordan Birch this year. They got enough edge rushers, honestly. If they were to add an external one, they need to move off of one of these other guys.
Is Bosa out there?
Yeah.
They added Bradley Chubb to a bloated contract in Buffalo, right?
That's what they do. It's just a rotation. It's Izzy, bruh, $2. The only good thing about the 2026 is the World Cup. Not a big soccer guy. Don't know the rules. Terrence, $1.99.
Will you cry if the U.S. wins the World Cup?
That's fine. Terrence, $1.99. Arizona thoughts on Arizona's corner trade and Stukes.
I don't know. Is this like the Dixon thing with Aaron Wilson?
No, I think that's got to be a real player. I think that's a real player.
Okay.
Brian knows me too well. $2. We'll have to look him up, Terrence. JV cried 100% when Han Solo went down.
Spoiler alert. That's part of the newest movies, man.
I didn't, but that was shocking.
Was it though?
Yeah, it was. Although Harrison Ford told them, they're like, I'm not making any more of these. Get me out of here. Get me out of
I want to make funny sitcoms. Keeping it going with Larry. Just something I thought, if Monty goes BPA at 3, would he take Sonny Styles? Linebacker is a need, and Monty loves his Buckeyes. I think there could be a chance.
There's always a chance with this team, Larry, after what we saw earlier this week. But the only rationale against it is the fact that they only take premium positions in the first round.
We have movement. It's exiting players. The Chiefs are signing former Cardinals running back Amari Dermacado to a 1-year deal per Schultz report.
Good luck to you, Amari. Sorry about when you fumbled. Harry, $4.99. Would Monty
ruined everything?
Would Monty sell 27 first because he knows it'll be someone else's problem? I don't think Bidwill would let him. I don't think Bidwill would allow him to ship off a first rounder next year.
Daddy Rabbits. Yep.
Go ahead.
Ossenfort says draft and develop because we can't sign free agents. Also have a terrible track record of keeping the good ones.
It's true. And Monti Ossenfort right now hasn't drafted a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
Hasn't drafted a player that's been extended. Now he's going to extend some, but he's banking on new coaching, Daddy Rabbits. I think we all are. Like, I think we're all saying like Marv with Mike and some of these defensive linemen with a shift of position coaches. But this is it. That's why like people saying tank and just be terrible. You got all these guys to commit, and you're trying to level up these rookies and these young players. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Your time to tank was 2023, not this year. Damien, $4.99. Where are the mock draft at? Tomorrow. The most cardinal thing to do is to draft a bust this high. Give me Love, and Brissett won't have to complete 48 passes per game. We're doing a mock draft tomorrow, and I'm with you. Give me Jeremiah Love, but they won't do it because they hate us.
Very, very important that the run game get back on track so we don't have to see 48 passes per game. Schaff, we all like Fran Duffy and his evaluations. Simpson may go through some rough patches, but he said could be the best out of the draft class after 8 years.
I'm a fan of him. But if Mike wants him, Schaff, then that's enough for me. If Mike says I can make him a franchise quarterback, then that's all. I don't want Monty signing off on anybody right now. Damian, $1.99. Kobe Durant, Chicago is going to eat off Kyler in Minnesota. He's going to have to deal with that interior pressure. Minnesota's got a decent O-line, though. I will say that.
It is crazy to think like some of the key members of this organization all reside in the NFC North now. It's like Kyler's going to go up against JG's defense twice. He's going to go up against Petzing and the Lions. There's a lot of ties, interesting storylines there in the Midwest.
Thank you guys for making a banner Thursday show. Hit that like button. We're back tomorrow. We're doing a mock draft. We're going to break down these quarterbacks in the 2026 draft. I'm going to make Bo look at them in the eye ahead of what could be the only option for some sanity this year. And of course, we'll be live for any breaking news, any free agent signings with this team and their $50+ million in cap space. Do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. We will get through this time together as a group. This is the best community for Cardinal fans, and we appreciate all of you. It's nice to have some player perspective and some pressers today. And as Jonathan Gannon once said, the sun will rise in the valley. Once again, for Bo, Noah, I'm Johnny. We'll see you Friday.
We all silly like the mayor.